Okay, I want to preference this. I did not do the cover crop for the onions. I did the cover crop so that I could plant broccoli when my broccoli seedlings are ready to go. So this technique of a cover crop is a great way to add nutrients back into your soil. I use cover crops for 3 different reasons. There's many more, I'm sure, but one, they are a great way to add nutrients back into your soil for very little cost and very little effort. So you plant the cover crop and you pick which one that you need. There's many different kind. I picked buckwheat in particular because buckwheat's great for pulling up minerals in your soil, which is what I need because onions are a very heavy feeder, and so are broccoli. So to plant onions, they're gonna take up all that nutrients in this raised bed, and then if I were to go in with another heavy feeder like broccoli, which is what I'm gonna do, my broccoli is not gonna do well because there's no nutrients left in this soil. So depending on what you need, depending on what your soil needs, you can do a soil test. I kind of just gauge it off of what I planted and plant whichever cover crop I need to replace, like the nutrients I need to replace. The second reason is it's great for suppressing weeds. Now this bed was coming up. I mean, I have a weed right here I can see. That will knock out all the weeds in this raised bed, which is great. It eliminates a task for myself. And last but not least, it is a great way to transition from seasons. So this onion bed, this was all onions. This would have been empty. There would have been nothing planted in this bed other than I have like marigolds in here. But this bed would have sat empty and exposed to all the elements. This soil would have dried out. It would have compacted. It probably would have filled up with weeds because I'm not ready to plant my broccoli yet. It's not the right season. It's not the right time. It's too hot and they're simply just not ready to go. So instead of leaving my raised bed bare, I'm gonna come in with a cover crop. And now what happens is once my broccoli seedlings are ready to go, I'm gonna rip this all up. They come up so easily. And I'm literally going to just turn it over and bury all of this greenery in the soil, and that will add nutrients into my soil. Planting it alone will add nutrients in, but if you rip it up and put all this foliage into your soil, it adds even more. If your onions are doing horrible, I really encourage you to look up what kind of onion you've got. So there's many different varieties, but there's 3 different types. So there's a long day, there's a medium, and then there's I think it's like intermediate or whatever. I can't think of the exact terminology they use, but then there's a long day. So depending on which region you're from, so up in the north, we're a long day onion, and in the middle of the US, it's going to be the intermediate, and then south is gonna be short day. So look up that and make sure you're growing the right type for your location. If that all checks out, then I would assume that it's probably gonna be your soil, and I would recommend doing a soil test. Figure out what your soil is lacking, plant that cover crop that will specifically help with the needs that you need, or come in with a bunch of compost.